think it's only fair. Me and Alan have discussed this. A couple other nations are playing, home nations are playing this weekend. Scotland v Fiji. I want to get your take on the whole Finn Russell, Gregor Townsend situation, and he's obviously not involved.
Stu, what my sources have said to me is that the team were fed up with two sets of rules. Rules for some of the senior guys who, you know, were breaking those rules, going out drinking, thinking they were beyond it, and the rest of them. And I think a line was drawn in the sand by Gregor, and he has said to Finn Russell, sorry, mate, you're out. And I can see the logic in that, and I can see where he's drawn that line and why he's done it. And I think the other part of that is you saw the team respond on Saturday. Kinghorn had a great game up until the last kick, the very last kick where he could have won the game. But I think there's a bigger picture here rather than just one game. And this is, you know, everyone's allowed to make a mistake and everyone gets a second chance in my book. But, you know, Finn has been given multiple chances. And the team, and when it starts coming from within your side saying, listen, doesn't matter how good this guy is, he's not respecting the rest of us, the rest of the team. He's not respecting us. I think if that's being said, and I haven't heard that, no one said that to my face, it's only what I've heard, I don't think the coach has any option there. And that mightn't be permanent, but it might be just saying for the November, if you want to come back in, you've got to stick by what everyone else says. There's not two rules in the group. And I think that is absolutely the right thing. I thought the Scotland team played really well on Saturday. I thought it was a really good game. They tackled their heart out. They were brilliant at the breakdown. Australia were the better team. I think the better team did win, but Scotland could have won that game, obviously, in the last moments of the game because of their work at the breakdown. And I think Kinghorn had a very good game, so he backed up his coach's decision.
Yeah, he did have a good game, Alan, but for the game of rugby, you want Finn, players like him at the highest level, back involved for the Six Nations, don't you?
Yeah, well, I'm mixed on it. I think if he's a very talented player and he's a bit of a free spirit, but he's got to adhere to the rules and regulations of the squad, and the players set those standards themselves. So, you know, he hasn't closed the door completely on Gregor Townsend, or Gregor Townsend hasn't completely closed the door on him. And but it would frustrate me if people are doing one thing and others are doing something different, particularly the off-field stuff like that. I'd probably be getting raps in the knuckles from my own on-field discipline of giving away penalties or things like that. But the off-field stuff is really important. If there is a ban and you know, curfews put on, people have got to adhere to them. But it's a pity because he's such a great player and he can do brilliant things, and hopefully we can see him back in the group. It's up to the player himself now, I think, to get back in. But you know, Scotland are, as Matt said, Kinghorn played really well at the weekend, and he's a really good option for him. And you've got to go with guys who are kind of adhering to the discipline and what the squads set out their own standards themselves.